All right, family, here we go. We are about to taste this infamous worm that they have been sharing with me that I should experience. Let's see. Please give them the story behind this bug.
It's not a bug.
It's not a bug.
It's a worm.
So this worm, I understand, you can only find on a certain tree. What's the name of that?
Mopani.
Mopani.
So a lot of people call it a Mopani worm.
Okay.
But it's pani. It's pani. It's not a Mopani worm. It's pani. Can you see up there? We'll get one and then show you.
Okay.
One here. This one's bony and nice and fat. See that? See the thorns on it? Feel those pricky thorns. Just feel
pricky thorns. I'm feeling the pricky thorns, and I'm looking. This is a worm that has been
it's been boiled in salted water and then dried.
Yeah. Okay.
To preserve it, right?
Yeah.
So you can recook it with some veggies in there, some onions. Cashapp. Kaya ka na mag? Kita huli na kayo. Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
So you cook it with some veggies, some tomatoes and onions, some chili in there.
Yeah.
Right? But you can also have it not, Oh. Be careful. Don't go prick on your lips because you won't.
Be careful. She's telling me to be careful that I don't get pricked on my lips by the thorns on this worm.
They're so hard. Like, can you ooh, yeah. Can you see that? See how chopped that? Ow. You can even draw blood. Where's the thing?
The camera.
Where's the camera? I want to see it. Can you see that? Can you see? Okay.
All right.
Take a bite.
This right here. Let me go ahead and try to focus this right here on this monstrous.
It's not even monstrous. It's an innocent little honey.
This is the head of it, right? Should I do the tail first?
Whatever you want. I could go for the head.
I'm like cringing inside, like, okay. I can deal with crunch. I can't deal with gooey, and this is crunchy. So I'm good with it. It tastes like...
The salt is very strong.
I want to say, y'all like seasonings. Because the seasoning's good.
It's the salt. It's only salt.
It's only salt.
She put a lot of salt in there.
Now, I've been into like almost to like a spine or something, because that was a real hard bite.
There's no spine in some worm.
I heard that you gotta squeeze the poop out of it
Yeah,
first.
you gotta squeeze out. Yeah. You can't just get a worm and throw it in a pot.
Okay.
Now you have to try it cooked.
Okay.
Because that'll reduce the amount of salt. There's so much salt in this.
Yeah, it's definitely salt. But the taste of this worm, you know what it tastes like? You ever had an oyster? For those who've had oysters,
I imagine they're horrible.
That taste of an oyster is what this worm tastes like. I was trying to figure out, what is that taste into? So it's an oyster.
Ew, I thought oysters were terrible.
To some people.
They're sluggy and gooey.
Well, I fry mine.
Okay.
I used to when I used to eat oysters, but fry them up. Some people can just eat them and sliver, and they're slimy.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh, I can't do that.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. But it
This
has
is
that hint taste of
bug, yeah.
Of an oyster. Salty, just like a oyster would be almost, from the sea. It's got a hint of
so you don't salt your oysters. That's very interesting.
Some people might, I don't know, but the sea salt, I guess, is what a flavor of the sea. And for those who have had it's got a hint taste of what's the name of the that comes out of the sea?
Something.
Seagrass. Seagrass is called
I wouldn't know.
Oh my goodness, some of y'all gonna know what I'm talking about.
Trying to find
oh man, I cannot remember the name of Sea moss. That's what it's called. Sea moss.
Sea moss.
It has a taste of sea
Here,
moss.
try another one.
Okay, we're gonna try another one, which I already know the taste, I know the texture, but just to put it in the record to show y'all that I did eat this worm called the what?
Honey.
Hani.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a taste of Botswana in their best of the beef and also their honey.
Not honey. Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna eat the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
That is oyster. Definitely. A taste of sea moss.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what it is.
You should smell it when it's being cooked.
That's okay.
It's good though.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it, family.
Like I said, next time when you're here with your wife, I'm gonna cook all these things for you.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think my wife is gonna eat the.
She will. She will love it.
I don't know. She's
Trust
very
me.
picky than I am.
Does she eat oysters?
No, she don't eat no seafood. No, not my wife. She will tear up y'all's cooking because she likes soul food, the vegetables, everything. Because yeah, she'll eat all that up. All right,
Okay.
that's exactly what it tastes like: sea moss and oysters. All right, family, we'll be back. All right, so you know, we just got finished with that bug and
Not a bag, it's a worm.
a worm. Excuse me, if you. It's not a bug; it's a worm.
Special. It's thorny.
So I asked the question of when did Botswana become more like the Western world? And your answer was?
You know what? That's how I started it. It's I always ask people, explain what you mean by act African, and then I can tell you.
Act African?
Mm-hmm.
And almost as I guess this question of act black.
Yeah, they say you don't act African.
Yeah.
What is define it for me? I don't know what acting African is. I've lived here all my life. And I'm pretty sure I'm African. I don't know if I don't act it. What is it to act it? And
True.
most of the times I found that people mean they're surprised because they expect to find us in hats. But ooh, I found the bunny. I lost it. Wait.
She got excited to eat the worm.
You know, I find that people expect us to live in huts and ride elephants, but that's very unrealistic because you have to understand globalization is a very real thing, and we have to move. Botswana was the poorest country in the world by the time we got our independence in 1966.
In 19 what?
66.
It's a very good year. That's the year I was born.
Yes, we were very poor. And we were not poor because...
You were poor, but you weren't poor.
Yes, exactly. We were poor in the standard of money and infrastructure and all of those things that pertain to capitalism.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we were just fine. So, I found that people are puzzled like you. You say this place is very Western, but no, we're globalized. We're in the global markets. We are trying to keep our people and ourselves afloat in this place, you know? We're trying to develop appropriate healthcare and infrastructure for the people and stuff like that. And maybe that seems Western, but I don't think it is. I feel like times are changing, and that doesn't mean you lose your culture, because I feel like we are pretty much still in touch with our culture. We wear our African prints, our local prints.
When?
Most of the times, everyone has a local print. I don't know. I haven't met a Muslim who doesn't have a print.
Is it more like on special occasions or something?
You can wear it on a special occasion or if you want.
Okay.
Yeah. There's specific ones that are worn during special occasions, like weddings and funerals. But there's one that you can just make into pants, tops, hats, anything.
Are these materials made here, or is it brought into the country?
I do not know.
Okay.
I know that there's an African Mall. Have you been to African Mall? That's
Why you want to call it African? I mean,
That's what it's called.
what's African?
It's called African Mall. I don't know why. I don't know why it's called African Mall. But in African Mall, that's where they sell the fabric.
Okay.
That's like the fabric hub of the city.
So it's saying in itself that there is a distinguish between other global economies. And so I guess for me I understand exactly what you're saying about, you know, when they say, well, you act black, you're acting this, you're not, why aren't you acting African? What is African?
Exactly.
So, but when I say that it's more Western, I guess it's because coming from the West, it looks like what we see. And it seems like, of course, being in a,
yes,
y'all call it the protectorate.
The protectorate.
What did you call it?
Yeah, the protectorate of Britain.
Of Britain. That to me, that is an influence.
Yes, very much. I have never, nor will I say that the Western culture does not have an influence in our day-to-day. It does. A very deep one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, because you know the music, you were singing Diana Ross. I said, what you know about some Diana Ross? You know?
I love Diana Ross.
Yeah, you know, and these outside influences come in. I mean, I hear the lingo, people talking slang, American black slang, if you will. The clothing, where, you know, the hats, you know, I see a couple guys with their pants drooping. You know, this is all influence from outside of Africa. And I guess that's when maybe somebody is saying,
that's like what we were talking about earlier when you said the power of media.
Yeah.
And that's it. We've been indoctrinated, and it's the cool thing to do, and we're.
It's the cool thing to do. See, and I say, family.
We also have cars, so.
But I say.
We don't make any cars here, though.
A lot of influence of America will be the destruction of your youth.
I mean, a lot, yes. But then we're very connected with our culture at the same time. Although I will admit that these days, you know, the minor cultures, languages, the minor cultures, because there's like the prominent and then there's the minor, they're fading a little. Like the youngsters, the little kids coming up after me can barely speak a word of Skalaka, you know?
So of course, I mean, because, you know, we were speaking earlier about, you know, you don't like the idea of women getting married and being bought for animals. So you want to do away with that culture, and I'm quite sure there's other things that a lot of people don't like about their cultures. They want to rather see just fade away.
Exactly. I mean, our culture, as much as we love it, it has its good things and its bad things.
Yeah.
You can't keep all of it just because you're saying, oh, I want to preserve culture, and you're keeping dysfunctional things that do not serve anybody.
But that ideology that you're saying is based off, probably influenced by the West, that you can't buy me this and that, because now you are thinking the way that the West, because that's what a lot of people in the West think. Oh, you're going to get bought, instead of looking at what is the ideal from it. Maybe, you know, why do y'all have that in place?
The idea is gratitude, but it's morphed into something else, and that reality cannot be denied, neither by me or men or people who do stand for the practice.
Does a woman have a right to say no if one guy wants to marry her?
Of course.
Okay, because I was explained to me, and I was in Kenya, I think it was, that they do, I think, cattle and stuff like that. They want to get married. That it's almost a sign that, can you take care of my daughter or my niece?
Yeah. Because the more cows you're able to give the family as a sign of your gratitude for the child, it means you're well off. Your family is rich. You can afford, you can afford cows. You can afford to take care of this woman and her children.
Now, for those people, you know, this did happen in America too. The white people used to practice
dowry?
this.
Yeah,
yes.
I believe you call it dowry, but when it comes to us, we call it bride price.
Yeah.
Which is two-faced to me. It's
because
dowry.
I look at it like, you know, typically if you're a farmer, you know, or you have cattle and animal, you know, to lose a helping hand around the land,
Yeah, that's the
it's
ideology.
Yeah,
Like,
you know,
yeah.
it's gonna cost you to take our hired head out of here. You know what I mean?
This she's been helping around.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was back then. Today, I'm not helping my parents with shit.
That's true. So why go back home to ask them for permission? You know, why hold on to the tradition instead of the man just saying, "Hey, yo, we out here in the city life. I'm
gonna marry you. We gonna go to the courthouse."
Yeah.
And say.
But there are people who do that, right? Is there a courthouse that you can go get married? Or is it like, nah, you better take your tail back to your parents.
If you haven't paid Lobola, the court will still marry you.
Say that again?
If you haven't paid Lobola, the court will still marry you. But you're married under the civil law and not the customary law. That means your marriage is not recognized in your home village. Because remember what I told you, the villages and the quotas operate under customary law. We have two legal systems in this country, customary and civil.
Yes, and there are other African countries like Ghana I've been to that they have two different laws too.
Yes.
And I actually, if you get married through I'm gonna make sure I say this the way I was told was that if you're a foreigner coming in and you marry a local, it would be best for you to get married under the customary law and not the civil law.
Why?
Because if you get a divorce, it's a different ball game.
Okay.
And that bride is entitled, or you know, male too. It could be male because females are coming over marrying some of the locals.
Yeah.
Are entitled to some of those things that might have been acquired during that marriage or whatever. So yeah, it's two different codes of divorce.
Yes.
So that's what I was told. But anyway, family, this is just another taste of Botswanans culture in marriage and in different things of how they, live their life. So we'll be back again. Peace.
Later.